Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here. You know, hundreds of thousands of people all across the United States are searching for answers after their company had massive layoffs. Take Google, for example. Former Google employees have created now a Discord to discuss the layoffs for entrepreneurs. The chaos of the economy could actually wreck their mental health. So how do you find a work-life balance? Well, joining us right now to talk all about it is Bennett Maxwell. He's the Deeper Than Dough podcast. Deeper Than Dough, I would think, would be recipes, not the case. Deeper Than Dough money-wise, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Makes complete sense to us. First off, what are the assumptions that people have on work-life balance?
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of assumptions out there. A lot of people that I talk to in the business world will say there's no such thing.
Right.
You're always going to be in balance, but it's balancing the imbalance. You're going to be heavy on work, heavy on family. I don't know if I believe that. I do believe that you can separate it and you can get a pretty balanced life.
I agree with you, too. I think it's Stephen Covey who talks about the 4 quadrants. I'm sure you're familiar with him and such. And you're right. You can't stay centered because there are going to be crises that happen at work. There's going to be crises at home where it takes you away from that center. But so with that knowledge, what does a work-life balance, actually look like?
I think it's making sure, especially in the entrepreneurship, or if you're a software coder, I'm sure you work a lot as well. But entrepreneurs, we tend to work a ton because we feel like that is our life.
Right.
And oftentimes we sacrifice the things that we are supposedly working for in pursuit of just pure work. And I know I found myself doing that. About 18 months ago, I sold a solar company. And up until I sold that, I told myself, I'm working hard, I'm working nights, I'm working weekends,
right,
so I can have more money, so I can have this exit. And once I have this exit, more money equals more time, which equals vacation time, which equals time with my family, which equals happiness.
Yeah.
After I sold the solar company, I realized I was still working hard, and that was kind of all a lie. So at that point, I kind of reset my life and said, okay, what's the point of all of this? Can I be with my family now and not wait for that, that big exit to happen? And I think that's when I started really pursuing that work-life balance. And man, it's helped me a ton in my career, and then obviously with my relationships and my family.
Well, we hear, and I mentioned it earlier, we're going to have a lot of people with layoffs. People are forecasting, companies are trying to get ahead of the curve before what they're saying is going to be a bad economy and that sort of thing. So even though maybe they're not entrepreneurs, they might be at a job where they might have to face being at home more. So we have to figure out, why is work-life balance so important? What is your thoughts?
It's so hard to work if you're not in a good mood, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Especially if your job requires any sort of a creativity or problem solving. It's really hard to be able to solve those problems if your mood is low. If you're not happy, if you're not energetic in the morning, I feel like that's really hard. So allowing a little bit more time, and I've seen this a lot, with companies, they are giving their employees maybe 4 days, and then that 5th day off or something like that. And it really does allow people to rest, I guess, a little bit more. So when they are working, it is more effective.
I guess when you were talking, what I thought of was, how financiers say, well, if you get a paycheck or if you own a company, whatever, you pay yourself first. And it seems like with that mental health, maybe give yourself that energy first. Do you think that actually helps improve work life, or is that like, well, you're not focusing on the bigger thing, which is actually trying to maybe find another job or maybe put just food on the table?
Yeah, that's a tough question, but ideally it's kind of sharpening the axe, right?
Sure.
It takes a little bit of time. You're not working per se as you're sharpening that axe, but it makes the time when you do work a lot more effective.
All right, should we actually be striving for work-life balance or work-life integration between the two? Which one is the best way to get through all of this?
I guess it depends on how you define it, integration versus balance. But yeah, whatever you want to call it, I definitely think that that's what we should be doing, that we shouldn't be so heavy in work that we forget to have fun. We forget to, have more fulfillment in our lives.
All right, very good. Very interesting stuff that a lot of people, no matter where you're at, job or not, it's something if we need to concentrate on that work-life balance. Thank you so much for joining us here. If you want to find out more about Bennett Maxwell, of course, check out his podcast. It's Deeper Than Dough. You can go to bennettmaxwell.com to find out all that information. Thank you so much there, Bennett. Appreciate that.